Okay, hello everyone. So now we will learn basics of JavaScript so that everyone can get started with React web development. I would recommend everyone to code along with me so that you can grasp the basics of JavaScript. Please, I highly recommend you to start typing with me. So let's get started. So to print anything in our console, so here you see our output. So here if you want to print anything, so you can simply write console.log and in that write anything, and if you just run your code you will see whatever you type inside console.log, it will be printed here. And if you want to use both single quote and double quote inside your print statement, so you can do something like that console.log, and here you see double quotes, and inside this here we are using single quotes. So if we now run this, you will see. Okay, let's start. Now three ways of assigning variables and values to our variables. So we use let, const and var. So generally we use let and const, and I recommend to use let and const mostly, and var I do not recommend. Yeah, so let's see each of these. So to assign a value to a variable, so we use let and then variable name. So for now I am just naming it a, and then value. So value I am giving it 1. So if we just want to print the value of a, we are saying 1. So here we have given a equal to 1. Now we can write something like a equal to apple, and if we print, you will see we are here we are receiving apple. So it does not give error, although first we assigned with a number and then with string, then also it is not giving error. In other languages, for example in C, would have given error, like in C or Java, for assigning any value to a variable, first we need to give type to it, like int a, int b, string something equal to hello, so like that. But in JavaScript we can simply write let and then give a variable name, and whatever value we want to give we can give, like we want to give number, so we can give number, or we can give string, so it's fine. Okay, so with this you can see there is no type safety. Then comes TypeScript, which gives type safety to this, but we'll see that in maybe later videos. And TypeScript is just an extension of, you can say, JavaScript, so it helps prevent errors. So yeah, we'll see that in later video. Okay, now if you want to print something like both the string and a variable, so we can do something like this, with single quote or double quote here and here, and then a is a, and then if you print, so a is apple. The other way is using this template string. So here you see this one, this is our template string. This is just above our tab button and below escape button in our keyboard. You will find this at the left hand corner, yeah, just below escape button, this symbol, and then a is, and if you want to print any variable, then first dollar sign and then open the bracket, and inside bracket your variable. Okay, and of course here we can do something like this, 1 plus 2 equals to 1 plus 2, so it will just calculate this value and give it here. Okay, and with let what we can do is we can just declare the variable, but we can leave it, and if we don't need to assign value to it right away. So if we run this, we don't see any error, but if we try to print it, it says undefined because we haven't given any value to it. So now we'll see const, so and see how it is different from let. So const c, and we are giving it value, let's say candy. Now if you're trying to print it, okay, we are seeing candy. Now see, we are assigning it value cute. So if you try to run it now, you will see we are getting type error assignment to constant variable. So const is for constant, so this variable c, it becomes constant with value candy, so we cannot reassign the value to it, reassign other value to it. So but in let, as you have seen, we can reassign the value. And let's say uh, we have something like const cool, and if you try to run okay, you will see syntax error, missing initializer in const declaration. So we need to give some value when we declare our variable using const. So we cannot do something like this. So take care of that also. And yeah, we must give or assign value to const variable. In let we can just leave it like this and it's fine, we don't get any error, but undefined value, but in const we get error. Okay, now we will see where. So where b is equal to babies, and if we just try to print it, okay, we can see it fine. And yeah, just for this, to keep this video short, I will not give the difference between where and all this let and const. Just remember that for now, use let and const wherever required. If you don't want to change the value of any variable, use const, and if you want to change the value of any variable, use let. And with these two keywords, everything uh, with these two keywords, your most of the things will be solved. Your your most of the work will be done in JavaScript. So use let and const uh, as much as possible. Now we'll see functions. So to write a function, we'll first use function keyword. So this is keywords are the values that are given to us by JavaScript itself. So first we write function, okay, and then function name. So I am writing function name as addition. Then we give these brackets and then these curly braces, and then inside this we can write anything. Now if we run it, okay, so you see we can do not see any output here. Here we have just declared it, but we need to call it. So to call it, let's see if we can do it like this. And here you see we are again not seeing any output, because to call any function we must give this bracket here after function name. We must give bracket, and general rule is that while giving name to a function, it should start with a small letter, and after that, if second word is there, we can start with capital letter, that is camel casing. And now if we run it, we will see the output. So there are other ways of writing a function. We can write function without using this function keyword. So for that, first we write const and then function name. So I am writing addition 2 because I have already written addition. So and then equal to, and then these brackets, and after that give this arrow here, and then this curly bracket, and inside that you can write anything. We run our code now. Of course we will not see anything because we have just written the function here, we haven't called it, so we need to call it. So I am calling it now, and then if you run, you will see second way of writing function. And now we can also write a function like this without the const keyword, and if we run it, yeah, now I have called it also. So using function without const keyword. Now passing values to function. So const, then let's say multiply equals this bracket, and then we will pass two values to this function, a and b, and then this arrow. Okay, so of course we need to call this, and if we just simply call it like this and we run it, so you will see here the output multiplication is NaN. NaN means not a number, because here it is expecting two values a and b, and we are not providing it any value. So that's why it is giving multiplication is NaN, and the correct way is to do like this multiplication, then 2 and 3. So a will take the value 2, b will take the value 3, and here a star b, that will become 2 into 3, so that will give us 6. So you will see multiplication is 6. Here this is a wrong comment, and don't mind it. Yeah, so we can use a function to return something. So here I am just returning 3 minus 2, and I am going to do something like this. So if you just run it, you will see result is 1. So what I am doing is, here I am returning 3 minus 2, and here const result equal to subtraction. So here I am storing whatever we got from this, whatever return value we got from this subtraction function, I am storing it in result variable. So from this subtraction function I got 3 minus 2, that is 1, so I am storing it in result, and now I am printing it here. So now let's say we want to multiply three numbers, so we'll do something like this, okay, and then simply, so we will return a star b star c, and let's say now we will use let result 3 and then equal to multi 3. So we are calling this function here, don't forget this bracket here. And now if we just try to print it, you will see rs3 is nan, of course, because here we are uh, we should pass three values here, because this function is expects three values. So but we are not passing it here anything, that's why. And the correct way is like this: result 3, this one same we are using it here, equal to multi 3 and then 2 3. Okay, this is also not the correct way, because run this. Okay, because third number is undefined, we are passing only two values, but we should have passed three values, so that's why we are getting result 3 is nan. Yeah, this is the correct way, and if you just run it, you will see result is 24. Now just try this out yourself. What would happen if you use const result 3 in line number 87, that is okay, line number 88. So here, instead of let, if what would happen if you used const, try it out. And if you use const here and then you try to use this result 3 here, so will it give any error or not? You can just try it out. Now we will see variable scope, what this means. So const, I am just giving it a name. General convention for naming JavaScript function is using camel case, but of course in React you would have seen that component function must start with capital letter. So keep this in mind. Okay, inside this function I am using let constant var three variables. D is 1, E is 2, F is 3, and I'm just printing the values here. And also I'm trying to print console.log A is whatever the A we have defined here at the top. A is 1. So if we try to now call this function, so you will see we are receiving D is 1, okay, E is 2, F is 3, and A is apple. That is whatever we defined at the above outside our function. So this is our global scope variable. So this value we can access inside a function in this curly brackets inside this. Now if we try to print whatever is defined here inside this curly bracket, so if we just now run it, you will see we are getting reference error. D is not defined because D is defined inside this function. This is locally scoped here, not globally, so we are getting this error. But A is, you see we can print it here because A is globally scoped because it is outside our function. So similarly for E and then for F we will get this reference error. And now loop in JavaScript, so we can just use for and then I equal to 0, then I less than 10 and I plus plus, and we'll just print this. And if we try to run it, okay, yeah, so I will learn JavaScript and definitely complete React course. So this is for everyone. So yeah, just learn this and complete the course. You will surely acquire a great skill that will help you a lot in future. Yeah, there's still few things left, that is object array and destructuring, which I will discuss in the next video. So do watch that video also, that is very important. I will give the link in description. Do watch that and then get started with your React course or your Next.js course, whatever it is. So yeah, all the best.